Hey, what is up guys, Guitar Rock here. Welcome back to the Tower of Fantasy video. Alright, so I know a lot of you guys, today you should be getting your SSR Selector. And hopefully you guys, if you guys aren't aware yet, some of you guys are still asking this. Basically, you just go to this particular, so this one right here. So this one, you click on this and then you can come here and you can scroll past. Today is day 5, Newcomer Event. Is this particular one. So I can basically get it easily. I just need to complete some of this for sure. You just need to reach 700 points. Then you can claim your SSR Selector or SSR Weapon box right here. Let's talk about the SSR Selector in general, just to give you guys an idea. If you guys already pick, it's not too late. I feel like this video can still, I hope it can still be informative so that we can talk about the Elemental Resonance later on. Now, if you guys haven't already noticed, right next to the Newcomer Event, which is where you choose the SSR Selector, there's also the Cloto Supply Pod. So hopefully you guys are aware that you shouldn't be buying this. You gotta wait 9 days so that you can get free gold nucleus times 10. So hopefully you guys are aware of that, because you can see every single day is getting cheaper and cheaper and cheaper. But then again, once you reach 9 days as of me plus day 5, so 2 weeks in total, you're gonna get it for free. So hopefully you guys are not spending your hard-earned dark crystal. Now, before we start off with today's video, again, hopefully you guys are aware, playstyles are very different depending on the characters that you want. So make sure you guys are aware that different characters will have different roles altogether. So try and get some idea. You can watch some videos whatsoever before deciding on which character you want to pull, because that's going to be something that you want to know moving forward. SSR Selector, let's talk about it. If you still are undecided on which characters to get, I can pretty much say for sure that the top 2 or maybe top 3 characters right now that you should consider getting is going to be Samir, King, or Meryl. Alright, so I'm going to give you a reason why these 3 are very good, but damage wise, Samir is going to be the top in terms of the damage dealer. King is very good. He's a fire type. Fire type is going to be needed in a lot of situations. In the map areas, you're going to need to burn down a lot of things to be able to claim some of the black nucleus, which is kind of annoying. So fire is kind of useful. And Meryl, super strong in PvP. She's going to be very annoying right there. Both King and Meryl, ideally you don't want to pick them together, right? You don't want them to be in the same team because they do the same thing. Breaking shield, very strong. Samir, she doesn't have the ability to break shield. That is the issue right there. It's going to depend on who you have right now. Now, if you guys are not aware, you should be pulling first before you use your selector, right? I hope you guys, you know, if you have watched any of my previous video, you ideally, in this standard banner right here, you want to get to 80 pulls. So you're gonna get 1 free SSR at 30 and 1 free SSR at 80. So depending on which one you get. Now, depending on who you get, that's going to determine what's going to be the best for you. Now, if you plan to play this game solo and you're trying to like tackle single player content in the game, I would highly recommend getting characters that can shield break easily. Right, so Meryl and King is going to be the best one right now. So King and Meryl, you need at least one character that can shield break. If you don't have either one of these, you consider getting one of these or Huma. If you are using 4 stars, Anne and Echo are a decent option. Shiro is not too bad as well, but I think she needs her 3 star to be a much better shield breaker option. So these are characters that can basically break shields faster for you to be able to do damage. I would highly recommend King or Meryl, depending on which route you want to go for. King maybe for more damage oriented builds, and Meryl maybe for defensive, maybe CC type of builds, right? But if you already have either one of these characters that I mentioned for shield breaking, then damage wise, Samir is going to be top tier. I would highly recommend getting her for sure. Like, I don't think you can go wrong with Samir unless you really don't like her playstyle. Samir can't break shield, unfortunately, so if you don't have a shield breaker, you're still not going to need King. But if you already have characters that can shield break, those that I mentioned earlier, then Samir, in my opinion, is going to be a better pick. Now, Meryl, very good option for PvP. Highly recommended if you plan to focus PvP. If that's where your focus is going to be on, then I don't think you'll regret picking her. A lot of these characters, ideally, for example, Zero, is less useful at just 0 stars. You might need a couple of stars to be able to get dupes. Same applies for Crow as well, right? The thing is, If you care more about PvP, yeah, sure, just get one copy for sure. But ideally, you can also try to fill in the blanks based on what resonance you want to go into. So let's talk about the resonance a little bit. If you guys are not aware, notice this thing right here, the weapon resonance, something that I've never talked about before. I think most players are going to go for this attack resonance. If you want to go for more balance, then you're going to need one defender, one attacker, and one supporter, right? So this one, final damage reduction by 5%, shatter and healing effect by 20%, and in team play, increase final damage and damage reduction by 20%. Now the thing is, if you want to be a tank, obviously Fortitude is going to be better. So right now, if you have Meryl for example and you take Huma, sure, that too is going to be solid tank. You will get 2 defense type, you're going to have shatter increase by 60% and aggro by 800%, which is a lot. Alright, it's going to enable you to help your team better in raid bosses, to be able to break shields even faster. 60% is a lot of increase. And the last class, weapon resonance, if you want to be a soul supporter, equip 2 support type weapons to activate, increase healing by 100%. Alright, in team play, further increase by 100%. Now right now in global, this is the resonance that most players are going to pay attention to, unless if you have Nemesis. Now Nemesis has one extra resonance that's tied to her, which is a Volt resonance. So let's talk about that a little bit, because that's going to maybe determine how you want to move forward. Now Nemesis, if you guys did pull for her, which I do think she's a really strong character and you should actually consider it, she is going to be really good. She has this ability right here. As you guys can see, this is the weapon, which is Venus. So she has this thing called the Elemental Resonance. Now notice Volt Resonance, increase Volt attack by 15%, Volt resistance by 25%. So activate by equipping 2 or more Volt weapons. So you can easily get this resonance if you have one more character. Now who's the best pair with Nemesis? If you happen to have Nemesis, actually I would highly recommend picking Samir for your SSR Selector or Crow, depending on who you're trying to get. It's not such a bad idea if you don't know what to pick, just wait for a couple of days before you can decide. But let's talk a little bit about the resonance, elemental resonance in CN server. Now right now in global, we don't have any of these characters besides Nemesis that has the Volt resonance. But in the future, right, like I mentioned, notice this thing, the weapon effects, you will have this Volt resonance. Basically Nemesis is key for any Volt resonance that you're trying to do. But if you want to, Cobalt B, this character is again not yet available in global. She will be the key for Flame Resonance. She's going to be pretty decent moving forward. Freak doesn't have a resonance, but she has something called Frozen Torment, which is something that's cool, unique to her. Ruby will give an even better Flame Resonance. Alright, notice how Ruby, it will increase Flame attack by 20% and Flame resistance by 40%, while Cobalt B is 15% and 25% resistance. So not all resonance are the same. So apparently there's a higher tier resonance, like for example Ruby, this character later on. Again, I'm not too sure when these characters will come from CN to global, because right now still not aware how the order of banners will be, right? And Saki Fuwa, this I think is a collab character. She is exclusive to CN server right now. She's good for the Ice Resonance. Lyra is good for Physical Resonance. You can see physical attack by 20%, physical resistance by 40%. And Claudia as well. Claudia has the, what I call the tier 1 Physical Resonance, as you can see. Physical attack is 15 and physical resistance is 25. Whereas Lyra will have the tier 2, it's like a higher tier resonance it looks like, because physical attack is increased 20% and physical resistance is 40%. So again, this is something that you have to look out for. I'm not sure if they are going to continue to release characters with more and more power creep in the future with better resonance percentages. That could be something that global should take note of and maybe look out for. Also, maybe the resonance will be more balanced in global. Who knows, right? Maybe everything is going to be 15 and 25. That's going to be something that we all have to wait out for. But yeah, that's gonna be it for this video. Hopefully you guys get an idea of at least the future meta. And for now, if you guys want to pick, like I mentioned, Samir, King, Meryl, those are going to be very solid options overall. Alright, so that's gonna be it for this video. Hope you enjoyed it. As always, if you haven't already subscribed, give this video a like. I'll see you guys in the next one. Have a nice day. Goodbye.